Hey, fantastic fam. Welcome to our community where we combine the woo and the work. We are two professional women who believe we can have it all and constantly upgrade ourselves to meet our visions. I'm Kalyani and I've chosen the off-roading path to personal development, being an entrepreneur with the journey of motherhood. I'm an economics postgraduate and I love working with all things mind and money. I've founded and sold one business and I'm now building this business that feels like fun and freedom for life.
Hi, I'm Rupali. I'm a numbers nerd turned Reiki master and many other things. I found a passion for all things wellness. I've worked in banking and finance for 15 years and I love combining that knowledge with all things energetics to create impact in a fun, easy way for others. Join us as we share the behind the scenes of us creating wealth, freedom, and magic. Ever find yourself in repeated patterns? Ever find that the same things consistently keep happening? Or the frustration that things never work out, or let's bring it back to money. Money keeps coming and leaving me, or something always goes wrong with my job. I don't ever have enough money. I'm never able to buy anything that I want. Then this is how I think of it. So, firstly, as soon as you identify something keeps happening to you, then don't get frustrated or upset or annoyed, but rather understand, is this pattern helping you? Would you like to keep it? If so, then keep it, and that's fine. But if not, most people are usually frustrated by repeated patterns, don't like what keeps happening to them, whether it's your relationships or money or family, work, um, all different health, all different areas of life. Patterns could be repeated in any of these. And so if you feel like this pattern is not helping you, then would you like to change it? Now, the reason why I ask is, and you may be thinking, of course, I want to change it if it's not helping me. But the reason I ask is subconsciously, the way we operate, we usually don't want to change the patterns because it's the comfort zone, because it's the unknown to change the pattern, because all you've ever known is how this pattern is, and you have no clue how another pattern may look, or how another situation may look, how the opposite of the situation may look. So sometimes we feel like we're frustrated with the situation and keep saying, I want it to change. But subconsciously, we're happy because we're safe. So your subconscious mind is the primitive mind that's always there to protect you. And it will do anything it needs to protect you, even if it means keeping you in the familiarity of a pattern that is not helping you at all. And the reason is because it knows how that pattern is. It knows you're safe in that pattern. And that's all it's bothered with. It's not bothered with your growth. Your subconscious mind is not bothered with the freedom that growth can bring or changing your mindset can bring. So the first decision you should make is, would I like to break the pattern? Now, let's say you decide, yes, I would like to. That's when your mind is primed to be open to change the pattern. Unless you decide, nothing can change. And it's always a choice. It's a choice to change your reality. It's a choice to change your pattern. And sometimes you'll see people saying, this always happens to me. It's outside of my control. I can't do anything. I'm this, I'm that. Basically, like victim mindset. Complete victim mindset. And they may say, I want to change, I'm upset, I'm this, I'm that, but subconsciously they don't want to change and they're comfortable in victim mindset. They're comfortable in not taking responsibility. And unfortunately, that comfort is bringing them the discomfort of repeated patterns that isn't really helping them, but they're choosing the familiar discomfort over unfamiliar comfort. And that's what I find really interesting because we all do it to an extent. It's about whether you're aware of it, whether you're open to change, whether you'd like to change or not. And really acknowledging that it's in your power. You can take the responsibility for yourself and your life. Until you make that decision, you cannot change it. Now, how do we pick these patterns up? How do you identify where this came from? Now, I believe that while, it's interesting to know where patterns come from, I feel it's not required to know where they come from in order to overcome them. So a lot of these coaches and hypnotherapists and wellness practitioners may really drill deep into where these patterns come from and really go on and on and on. There may be many sessions on this topic, and I really question the ethics of such people who really go on and on. Because to me, what I find is if you've identified a pattern that basically your life situation, your reality that you're unhappy with, you link it to a pattern possibly. Then you decide, right, I want to change this pattern. That's a choice. That's an active choice you'll have to make. At that point, whether or not you know where the pattern came from, you're able to overcome it. And that is a fact that's been proven, and it's happened many times over with different people. So if you'd like to find out of interest, for sure, there's methods to find out where your patterns came from, methods that include going back into your childhood, assessing your relationships with your family, your parents, the language they used. If it's about money, what language did they use around money? Money doesn't grow on trees. This is a waste of money. We're not rich. The rich are evil. Money is hard to come by. If you don't work hard, you'll be poor. All of those things. If you've heard your parents saying something like that, chances are you hold this belief, right? Then you grow up and then you see things around you. You may see people that are more well off than you at school. You see kids or your friends using better things than you. And then you assume they're richer than you. And then you think, okay, money is not, something I can have. I have to work hard for it. Some people get it easy, but I have to work hard for it. All of that. So basically, that's one way of identifying where these patterns come from. But the choice of freedom from this pattern is something you have to make. And so, even about money, some people are so comfortable in the not having money state. And again, you may be wondering, how can you be comfortable with this? You're subconsciously comfortable because it feels safe. Maybe you feel that rich people are evil. So your subconscious thinks that if you become rich, then um you won't be liked by people. Maybe that's what it is, and that's what it's protecting you from. So there's many different reasons for these beliefs and subconscious thoughts that you may have that prevent you from overcoming certain life situations. But really speaking, I think my focus of the day here is there are means to change this, there are means to overcome it, there are various modalities and methods to overcome these patterns. But unless you make the choice and take the responsibility, you will not be able to change. Sometimes it's easier to just say, well, it's the situation, the economy is under recession, there's not enough money, it's a difficult time, everyone's losing money. But really speaking, I mean, that's the choice you have to make. And either stay there or don't. To be honest, to me, it doesn't make any difference whether you stay there or not. But if you'd like to change, that's a choice you'll have to make. So I think the freedom of choice is something that I wanted to elaborate, really kind of talk about in this podcast, because if you feel you don't have the choice to change your life, then I would encourage you to reflect, understand your life situation, understand whether you like your life situation or not. If you don't like it, the only thing that can get you where you want to be is choosing. And so think about it, see what life you want, and let's make that choice. And finally, change the narrative of our lives through choice.
We would really appreciate your feedback as reviews on the podcast app you tune in from. Support us also by sharing this podcast with 3 of your besties who would benefit from being fantastic.